surprise for you. Just a sec. Let's see. Is it in Facebook? Yeah. So there is a surprise for Rahul. Uh, unsung hero who never ever told about him. So many things are there stored in his, you can say, in his bag. So let us reveal something. Maybe you feel a little emotional, but crying is good. You said, but I don't know. Can you hear anything? Just a second.
Not yet. Yeah, it's working.
From my heart to my heart, in the shining star, healing from afar, with your touch, home again. In your trust, we find us, and welcome my joy to my heart, in the shining star, healing from afar, with your touch, home again. In your trust, we find us, and every session a new dawn, every word a healing song, guiding us to find our way. In your light we'll never stray. Welcome my heart to my heart, in your shining star, feeling from afar, with your touch we're home again. In your trust we find our zen.
A small tribute to you. Just a second. Yeah, this is a small tribute, and yeah, what I will say about
Thank you
I.
so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Devismita.
a short.
Very kind of you and very thoughtful of you to put in the work. And like I was sharing with you yesterday, I saw part of this, not the entire final video. And like I was saying yesterday, it was a really beautiful retrospect of probably about the last 20 years of my professional life. So thank you so much for your heart. Thank you so much for your love and um, we talk about this word intentionality, right? Being intentional. And to me, you're somebody who um, you truly symbolize that. So all I can say at this point, of course, is to keep doing what you're doing, and many more students are waiting for you.
Yeah, it's under your guidance because I can't alone. I need you
Thank you.
in every step. As I always say that everything I definitely first ask you, is it fine? Just let me know. Then only I can move
Mm.
fast with the next step. That confidence you have given me actually to ask. Because
Before you do go any further, as I'd like to say, check your volume. Mic seems to be quite low. Check on Zoom. Just check the volume.
okay, so the settings. Okay, can you hear me now?
You'll have to bring it a little closer. See if
Yeah.
that helps.
Okay. Is it fine?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Yeah. So every step, everything, whatever we are learning, whatever we are doing, it's if we are bringing communities, that is for you. There's the communities are, we know what exactly we are getting the transformation just because of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
A lot of
Thank you so
things have
much.
come. Yeah. And yeah, let's now just introduce yourself to the audience because I think new followers have joined. They want
Mm,
to know about you. And then we will be moving towards the questions.
awesome. So this is one of those very unusual settings where, normally one talks about one's life and what we've done and the journey that's brought us here. One is, of course, like I said before, like, big thanks to you for using the power of video and pictures to literally like showcase my journey in in a really like searching the ends of the earth to find something that can benefit many people, including my own self, including in my own life. So in a maybe like a 2-minute gist, if I may. um, Today I'm at a point where I have created this entity called the I hypnosis, which is a blend of hypnosis and NLP. And these are two, it's like normally an artist has one muse. I have two muses. These are um, two entities that have really uh, driven my professional life. And for many, many years, I have followed it. I have followed the founders, the teachers of this, of hypnosis and NLP with the intention of getting better at it, because I know that for me, my gift is to be able to help other people. And in addition to the gift, you need a medium, you need a way for people to be able to receive that gift. And for me, that is eye hypnosis. So this is something that, of course, I do today. As I said, this is like a culmination of the last 20 years. But along the way, of course, I've over a decade ago, I've studied with Dr. Richard Bandler, who is the co-founder of Neuro Linguistic Programming. And for me, I've always sought out people who are at the top of their field. So even when I heard about NLP, I said, okay, like, who is alive right now teaching this? And one of my mentors, uh, as he would say, my name is Dick, call me Dick. Uh, his name was Richard McHugh. He was a retired Jesuit priest. I met him, like way back in 2007. And when I saw NLP being taught the way he taught, that was what literally like, brought it all together for me, where I said, I know that this is the path for me. And, literally over the last um, decade or decades, I've been just going deeper and deeper into learning this, into practicing this. And today, of course, I'm at that point where I'm teaching this. So that is, in a very, very short way, a reflection on, what I've been doing. A little bit of professional background. I used to do a lot of corporate training using theater, and then of course when I found NLP in 2007, that kind of was the start of this alternate journey. And then ever since, I've just been going deeper and deeper and learning literally from people who are at the best of uh, their game, if you want to call it that, right? And in the recent years, somewhere around COVID, I've also, sought out teachers. Some people in this day and age may know of Blair Singer. They may know of course, Siddharth Rajshekhar, Raji Talreja, Pooja Puneet. Like these are some of the bigger known, better known names in the industry today. So these are some of the people who I have sought out, who I've learned from. And of course, today, what I am in the process of doing, we have a community which is called the Hypnosis community. So all of this is basically it's like the confluence of all the different experiments, all the different adventures that I've been on. And yeah, as I said, I've been fortunate to have met some truly amazing students, and I definitely count you amongst them. So, thank you for this initiative, not only creating the video, but, saying, okay, let's do a live. And, I want more people to know about this, because obviously you've had your own experiences, which I'm sure people would love to know more about. But slightly short, but long introduction, but this is me.
This is really amazing. Yeah, I'll come to my experiences as well. But before this, I want to know you, since what is your mission? What is this
Hmm.
ISNFP? And as you
Mm.
mentioned, this combination and how it is helping others at this point is, I'll definitely come with my views because you
Hmm.
helped me to get my identity, and definitely I'll share that story. Yeah,
Sure.
after you.
Sure. So, as I said, for many, many years, like decades now, I've always believed in, helping people. That's one. And two is I've always believed that no matter what your background is, no matter what your past history is, as the name, as the word goes, it is your history, right? That means that whatever you're meant to be, whatever you're meant to do, that's if you say, if you believe in fate, that's the written but undiscovered part of you. If you believe in, the future is not written, you can write your own future, then it just means that whatever you may have experienced before, hardships, losses, failures, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This is something I truly believe in. And for years and years and years, I've looked at, how can I help somebody find that spark? How can I help somebody find that power within themselves? And that is the reason why, going back to your question, the mission is the the driver for me is that you can literally turn your life around in this very moment. So just a little bit of a like a reflection. I've been doing solo podcasts, which is called the Hypnosis Healer Coach Speaks. I've been doing these podcasts now for close to, um, like we've uploaded more than 275 episodes, and I've been doing it since like uh, October of 2022, right? So almost 2 years now, and it's driven by the same belief that even if there's one person that hears this in the moment and they realize that, okay, I can change my life in this moment, that's mission accomplished.
Now I'm coming to my experience. One of the
Mm,
experience that is, a lot of things happened in ISNFP, but identity is something which is a female gets the identity where
mm,
I'll just share my story because I think you are my space zone where I am comfortable to speak. That's the reason I'm speaking so openly in the social media. Yeah, I got hurt because not hurt. Actually, when I was in my fifth or sixth standard, my biology teacher was asking me, show your heart. Okay, where is your heart? I was not able to find my heart that time because a small kid was 5, 6. What is
mm,
my age that time? So 10, 11 years. So I was not able to
mm,
understand what exactly the heart is because she is a doctor. And she was telling me, you can't find your heart. And she just uh, beat on my breast. Okay, that is, you don't know anything. That a growing girl that time. And I got so much hurt. And she told me, don't tell your parents about this, that I beat you. And
mm,
that, okay, I just, that day I just forgot about it. And then slowly I came back home, and I never told my parents about this, even my mother, because my mother is
mm,
like, she, and if anything goes wrong, no, she is the first person to go to the school to shout. Okay,
mm,
because not shouting actually, because she is protected about her children. That's normal mother, whoever will do.
mm,
But suddenly from that time onwards, I was thinking that I don't know where's the heart is, because this is my mistake, right?
mm,
That gone in such a deeper sense that I never ever uh, see my body.
mm,
Okay, I never feel my body actually. I don't know what is my body. Then in your one thing you have given us, that is the bra exercise, right?
mm,
So that time I thought, first I was also, as an Indian woman, we cannot think of directly going to talk about the bra. So it's an internal thing. And then I thought of how to go, how to talk to them. Then
mm,
suddenly my sister-in-law's sister was there. I asked her, what is your concept behind bra? Because
mm,
we are all in our 40s. So
mm,
she told me, she's elder than me, so she told me openly that this is what bra concept is. So don't have to think too much.
mm,
Then I realized, okay, what is there? So next day I open my own bra, okay, and I feel my chest, I feel my breast. Then the realization comes, yes, it's a beautiful thing. Why I am hurting myself like this, and the acceptance. 3 hours of crying that yes, I'm a woman.
Mm.
It was so much painful. That day I know I was continuously messaging you,
Mm.
and you were just asking me several questions, and I don't know how it kept going, and suddenly I got my identity. That
Mm.
was the values. We were stuck there in what is the identity, because we have an identity crisis. And when this type of things happens to our life, we stop seeing ourselves. Yes, we are gifted with body, but we never open up to see our body, what is there in our body. So the time when we accept it, it needs time. For me to, it was
Mm.
like a person from 10 years till now I'm 41. So it was like 31 years I didn't even see
Mm.
myself.
Wow.
Stopped seeing myself because I was feeling in the class that I have no, means
Mm.
maybe I don't, all the stupid kid who doesn't know where's the heart is. So that's the reason I got bitten. So maybe some people, but I'll tell those who are having this type of problem, please come reach out to you, because there are certain things which you give the better than the space. The I was crying literally that day 3 hours, and you were just holding the space, asking the relevant question, which helped me to find out my
Mm.
femininity. And that time, that femininity opens my heart. Yes, that I don't know what is hard before that.
Mm.
So it was like, yeah, I,
Wow.
yeah, I'll come down to crying on this, but again, I will be emotional. Now I'm happy that I got the identity of myself, that being a woman, what the pleasure of the woman is. Means, yeah, we have the heart to open, receive
Mm.
love, and then give love. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Mm.
So yes, this is one of the breakthroughs, and another lots and lots of breakthroughs are there. And one of this breaking of the habits,
Mm.
because I thought that is the insecurity level, that is what uh, I did nail biting, and it has completely stopped because of
Wow.
the, yeah, because of this practice which you have taught us, right?
Mm.
Swish method. Those who are there to learn. I just don't want to be a technical. Yes, they let them come and
Mm.
let them learn about it, how it happens. If they want to
Mm.
break their habits, this is the best platform to learn
Mm.
and to grow.
Oh,
Yeah, and
thank you.
lots.
Mm.
Yeah, yes, and in my presence, I am the evidence of two things. That is the you have yeah, first the dog fear has gone, and
Mm.
second, yeah, screen scrolling has stopped, and third is the height. Yeah, he
Mm.
did a height that day that he went up. Many of them know about Sridhar here, Sridhar Kinal. So
Mm.
he has this phobia of height.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yes,
True.
and you did the miracle on spot that he was on the top and he was just doing the videos over there. Yeah, so you are miracle. Yeah, so lots and lots of problems wherever I'll stuck. Definitely where I cannot share with. I don't know how I'm openly sharing with you. It's a miracle the way I now also I'm just, I don't know, I never
Yeah.
how much openly I can say. But
Exactly.
any that's just a miracle. But I think today my story, as you always teaches taught me from the beginning of the day, that is my story is no more my story,
Correct.
story of the world
Yeah.
now. Definitely,
Yeah.
like me, who cannot understood their womanhood, or they have never seen themselves properly, can
Mm.
at least come and
Beautiful.
learn from this.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
yes. And if you want to say your experiences, how you have saw the breakthroughs and whatever during your
Yeah.
session, your own life, and during
Mm.
when you are doing,
Yeah.
just
That's a great question. Even as you're, even as I was listening to your question, I was remembering and reminded of about two or three different points in time The earliest was somewhere, I think, 2007, somewhere between 2007 and 2009, when I saw my teacher, um, leading like a fairly large group, and being in that presence, and and some of us are like that. When we learn, we keep learning till we really become one with the material, right? Like, it's one thing to attend a 1 day or a 5 day program or a 10 day program. It's another thing when you keep repeating that till it really like goes inside and becomes second nature. It becomes part of you. So as I always say, guilty as charged, meaning I fit into more of the second category or type of person, where my intention is to learn it's enough so that it's no longer at a surface level. It's no longer at a logical level, so to speak, right? At a conscious level, not even logical. It's more at a conscious level. So when I actually saw my teacher do that, for me it was like looking into the future. And I say that because today, close to 20 years later, I get to live that. Right? And so today, whether it is working with a group, like all of you were a smaller, more intimate group, and then there are larger groups that I've been working with. One of the happy outcomes was this thing called the eye hypnosis experience. So this is one way for people to experience the power of eye hypnosis in a pretty short amount of time. Like literally within 1 hour, people come in, they kind of settle in, they have an experience, and then they're able to relate it to their own lives. And more importantly, like a lot of times people have a question of, okay, I had an experience here, but how do I translate it outside? So that has been sort of like a happy coincidence of all the work that I've been doing. And so there is that which is more sort of surface level, so people have an experience. But when I say surface, as in, you don't have to spend an entire year to have a grasp of the material. Even one, literally, like 1 hour or less than 1 hour is a good start point. We also have a deeper 90-day program, which is something that you've been part of, with the intention of learning what I've been learning over the last so many years, but learning it in a very structured way, and also learning to apply it. So it is, I would say, a good 80 to 90% is hands-on. There's about 10% which is more about the, okay, this is the recipe, these are the ingredients, so that tomorrow you can take all of that and create whatever version that you desire. So, like I said, that was one story that one flash that I had just now, uh, where I got to literally look into the future. I'm talking, way back 2000. I saw it the first time, obviously 2007, but it really clicked in somewhere around 2010. So we're talking like 14 years ago. And another very, very powerful story was when, like you were talking about nail biting, and conventionally especially when you talk about NLP or neuro linguistic programming, there is a lot of you know um, let's say that people get to know about hypnosis, and especially they get to know about NLP when you talk about, say, nail biting. You talk about busting habits that people have, right? And nail biting is one of them, right? Phobia of animals is another one of them. Like, these are for some reason, especially when you talk about NLP, there are certain, in fact, by now, there are pretty much any of these techniques can be used. But traditionally, like you said, the swish, these are like some of the patterns that have been used to break someone's uh, habit pattern, right? Whether it comes to biting nails, whether it comes to maybe binge eating, right? Amongst many phobias for that matter. So I myself had this very strong um, binging habit when it came to potato chips or wafers. Right? It's like the no one can eat just one. And in my case, for especially for those of you who live down south in especially in Bangalore, there is this very famous brand. I don't know if it's still around, but it's called Ganesh chips. Okay, so it's like you have what is it, hot chips. Bombay also has it. A couple of other places, but Ganesh chips is again sort of like a very hyper local brand. And I'm talking a good more than a decade ago, where you'd get these small bags of chips for like, $5 or $10, right? So it is very easy to like load up on that. And for me, it was like one bag was not enough. I needed at least 3 or 4 bags to feel like, okay, now it's like hitting the spot. So when I did the exercise, ever since, this is, I'm talking 2012, so it's 12 years. And it's, so let me explain it like this, okay? When we talk about habits, some habits you just like, it's gone. Like you don't even think about it, okay? There are some habits where, because of, say, for example, the swish pattern, where you look at the trigger, like in this case, the chips, and rather than suddenly realizing you're 3 bags down, everything just slows down and you're like, okay, if I have this, do I want to be that person? Right? And so it's almost like saying, so there's this concept of like a pattern interrupt, right? So if you're looking at something that's a trigger, in this case, in my case, a bag of chips, I'm looking at it, I'm actually able to have a conversation. Do I really want to have it? If I have it, then, oh, then I'm going to feel, dry in the mouth. Then I'm going to want to have a Coke. Then after one Coke, I'll be like, okay, but, maybe I'm going to have something fried. And so it sort of like becomes this cycle. And I'm able to actually have that conversation in my mind with me, just looking at that trigger, right? So as I said, it's a great question that you asked. And this is in a very practical way, the kind of responses you can expect, where what used to be a habit now becomes a reason to have a conversation with yourself. And you're saying, okay, is it worth it? Do I really want to do that? And you're like, nah. And then it's done. Meaning that the craving is gone. Now, obviously, everybody has their own unique way of you know responding. Like you were talking about nail biting. I'd love to hear your take on it. You talked about one of our students who had a height phobia for literally, I think, about 50 years. And it, in all of, like, I think under 30 minutes, it's done, right? And there are like videos he's taken of him standing safely, of course, but standing by the parapet, which is something he would never have dreamt of in the last 50 years. So to me, this is fascinating because that was the core of your question. How do I feel? To me, it's fascinating that even after so many years, when I'm seeing people respond, it just tells me how amazing we are as human beings. And it's like, every time I'm doing sessions, for me, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store, or in this case, in a toy shop, where I don't have to take the toys out. I get to play with it, right? Kid in a candy store is not the best example, since we're talking about busting habits. But it's like literally like being a kid in a toy store, where you get to just play, right? So for me, that is a blessing that I get to do this every day. And of course, this year, 2024, the intention is to make this available to more people in different forms, right? So not everybody is ready to start a deep diving 90-day. Like you guys have gone beyond the 90 days. Now you're into the next level, and there's more of these programs coming in the future. But the way I look at it, it's more about people starting the journey, which is why, we have something called the hypnosis experience. So and in fact, now, thanks to technology, we have we've got a backend, got a dashboard where you can stay connected as a community. And once you join us, then you're able to stay connected. You're able to meet other people, and we literally have students from all across the globe, right? And the intention is to literally build this movement, because I really believe that all of us, as I said, we have that superpower. And now it's an opportunity for us to be able to share this with the world in our own, unique ways. The way I look at it, If you consider all of us to be computer programmers, we are learning the main code, right? We're learning the skill of coding, but how we code and for what we code is our own unique message, right? So maybe somebody wants to work with people who are in the HR front, or somebody who wants a job, right? Maybe somebody wants to work with young kids. Maybe somebody wants to work with the elderly. The point is, in order to do that, you need certain skills, right? Which is, one part is communication, which means being more mindful of our language, the words we use, how we use them, the impact of it, being more present, being more conscious. And of course, there are these happy tools that are also there, which you can use to make. It's almost like, like a bone setter will make adjustments, and you experience the healing. Those are the skills that you get to learn, and then you get to teach other people. Because I truly believe in the teaching model, meaning that if I'm not able to do it, I can't tell you about it. But if I'm able to do it, I'm able to show it to you, you're able to do it, then tomorrow you are able to, it's like what they call the parampara, right? You're able to carry on that legacy and, share it with more and more people. And you literally create that ripple effect, right? So that's, if you ask me, that is really my intention of doing this work. And it is very fascinating work. It's very exciting work. And the best part is I get to meet people from different parts of the world, different backgrounds, different profiles, if you want to call it that, different ages. So yeah, I definitely consider myself to be extremely fortunate that something that I saw for a moment so many years ago, I get to now not only live, but I get to also share it with others.
The way I am totally excited, the the time I am learning, I started giving to so many people,
Mm,
and in this case, there is no problem of testimony. If you
mm,
are serving someone, and yeah, take the negative and the positive testimony is always available, because you are doing some service from your heart to other person. It is
mm,
really a noble, and I feel I'm so much excited because I'm learning and I'm implementing, I'm getting result. So it is easy rather than just creating so many, because now
mm,
this comes webinar format, read it. Today only we were just having a discussion before this, that what
mm,
exactly I'm learning in digital marketing. I told you it is going like rocket science, right?
mm,
Because I'm from the HR background. So learning digital marketing is a challenge, but still I'm doing a lot of things which
mm.
I'm proud of myself. Yeah, so
Correct.
what I can
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, that is fine. But the total thing, if I want to learn, definitely I will learn it, but slowly, steadily under you.
Mm,
Yes. Now in this coaching, this is some
mm,
important question which comes in my mind at the basic,
mm,
right? People are juggling, that like those who are like me, okay, the digital coaches who are
mm,
want to just to become a digital coach, uh,
mm,
but they don't know what are the gadgets, because they are also overwhelmed, like
mm.
so many things are there. So for the what are you recommending, the book club, or they can experience this? How
So
can
again, just to put this into context, mm, so so maybe let me zoom out a bit and answer the question a little differently, right? The core of what I do is focusing on our mindset, focusing on the language that we use, right? It's like saying, if you want to feel better and you know how to change the language that you're using with yourself, then you will always, sooner or later, be able to feel better. Meaning that you're aware that, oh, I'm using language which is negative. Maybe I'm being very polite to somebody else, but I'm being negative. I'm really like talking badly to myself. So knowing what that means because of what I teach, that's a skill, right? What you're talking about is something, and I know you're referencing what you're learning now because you're part of our, it's like we have a level 1, level 2 of the 90-day IHNLP practitioner program. And then we have a level 2.5. And, uh, early next year, towards the end of this year, but early next year, we will be launching the IHNLP 3.0. Correct? But before any of that, what you're referencing is some of the things that you learn in 2.5, which is technically the third level, right? Now, it makes sense for you because you've been through the focus area of what we're doing, which is you're learning skills to be able to help somebody, whether it's in a coaching context, whether it is in, let's say they're struggling with their, let's say with stress, right? Or it's just the way that they talk to themselves, and you have skills now where you can help them, correct? That is, if you ask me, 95% of the work that we're doing. The other stuff that you're talking about, which is to do with um, the digital marketing, so to speak, I'll still say this. I am in no way an expert when it comes to digital marketing. And at this point in my journey, I I have, of course, to put this into context for you, since 2016, I've been studying digital marketing, right? And 2019, and then of course in 2020 with COVID and the way things shifted for everybody, I have invested time, invested lots of money, invested in mentors, whether it's in community or whether it's different, let's say, digital marketing agencies. So I have done all of that. So it's not that I'm not going to say I don't know any of that. I definitely do because I have invested time, money, and created that interaction with people who are in the business. But that is not my core area, right? So, which is why, just to clarify, I'm saying, yes, we have something called the eye hypnosis book club, which is for people who want to, especially who are digital coaches or aspiring digital coaches, who want to be able to generate leads, right? Yes, in that context, definitely the eye hypnosis book club caters to that. But if you say, do you teach digital marketing? No, right? I'm just clarifying that even when it comes to our the IHNLP 2.5, even there, the core of what we're focusing on is our skills, our hypnosis skills, which will be able to help people. Because here's the thing, from a marketing point of view, if you know you have skills that will benefit people, then won't people pay you money for it? Right? That's the logic. So I'm just clarifying in case people are like, oh, okay, I can learn digital marketing with him. No, if you're coming primarily for that, then there are lots and lots of digital marketers out there who will definitely help you. Right? Like I said, I have worked with some of the best in the industry. I have worked with them one-on-one. I have worked with them in their groups, in their communities. So there are enough and more people whose focus is digital marketing, whose focus is on being able to create a marketing, whether you call it a funnel, whether you call it, the systems in place. There are people that have focused on that, right? So like, for instance, one of them would be obviously Siddharth Rajshekhar, who has spent like years and years and years honing that. So I will in no way say, come to me for that that part of the help that someone might need as a digital marketer, right? Or as a coach wanting to learn digital marketing. Yeah. So I'm just saying I was listening to your question and I was waiting for the answer to come because and again, it's sometimes that this can become a uh, like a misunderstanding. When you learn a lot of digital marketing, you can suddenly believe that, okay, I can be a digital marketer. It's very different, right? It's a skill. Some people really love it. Some people need it, meaning you need it to run your business, but it needn't be uh, your side business or whatever. Right? That's how I look at it. And again, I'm nobody to tell you how to think or what is right and wrong. But I'm only speaking from my perspective. Just one last story. In 2019, that was the sort of overreach that I made, where I was learning so much of digital marketing that I chose to become a digital marketing coach. And I'm talking, this is before COVID, right? For me, the learning was that by the time COVID came around, I realized that that is not my core area. Like I don't, neither do I love doing digital marketing, nor is it something that I, want to keep going deeper into. In the same breath, when you talk about hypnosis, you talk about NLP, you talk about eye hypnosis, that is something that I live and breathe all the time. So if you're somebody who's a digital coach, you're starting off or you're thinking of, or maybe you've been in this for a while, and you are looking for sort of like a reboot, then definitely, come join our community, because we have people who are digital marketers. Let me say that again. We have people who are learning digital marketing, but more importantly, we have people who are coaches. We have people who are thinking of becoming coaches. We have people who are, employees, meaning that they have a regular job. And of course, we have people who are homemakers. There's a one, two, three, four. There's a fifth category, which is people who are on the other side of 50, right? So people in their late 50s, people in their 60s, who also are, open to the idea of being, being productive, wanting to share their mission to people out there. And so the skills of eye hypnosis, I have seen it, truly helping them as well. So that, in a broad sense, that is where things are at. And so we are here. And again, this is not the Rahul show. This is the eye hypnosis community, with the intent of inviting and making space for more people to be able to learn these really, really, truly valuable life skills. Again, like I said, just to close that for the moment, my story began with counseling way back in 2003, 2004. So it's give or take about 20 years. And the skills that I've learned, I know a large part of it is definitely due to my going deep into hypnosis and neuro linguistic programming. Right. So if these are things that excite you, these are things that make you curious, and you want to be in a community where we have people like this, and you get to interact with me, because like I said, the eye hypnosis experience, which happens on Mondays and Fridays, happens at 6 p.m. In fact, shortly after today, at in an hour and 16 minutes, we will be going live. So Mondays and Fridays, 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and Saturdays we meet at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. These are, of course, firstly, they're free. Secondly, the intention is for you to come on board and have an experience for yourself. And if you feel you like the vibe, you enjoy interacting with me, because these are live sessions, these are not pre-recorded or anything like that. Please come and see us, come and chat, and go deeper into your own soul. Right? 4 4 4 4 4.
Angelic number.
Right? It
Yes.
was with all the fours.
Uh, yeah. Now, thank you. This the question also came, who can join this community? Okay.
Correct.
So yeah, I was checking in Facebook, and in the meantime, you already told about who are the person who can join the community.
Correct.
Yes, and those, and another thing which I just now saw, Kinhal himself was here in the
Is
was
it?
posting, yeah, and he was a person who was having a problem with the height.
Mm.
Thank you, Kinhal, to be here. If you want to put any of your comments, you are welcome. Um, yeah, and this and yes, another thing, the another question, and then we will be meeting in other platform as mentioned in YouTube. That is another concept with another, because the work will be starting. It is, we are now meeting here in Instagram. There are lots and lots of things to do, and
Mm.
in LinkedIn, because this awareness is to be
Oh, you
about.
mean we'll be doing this on different platforms? That's what you meant.
Yes, yes, yes,
Ah,
definitely.
okay. So you were saying you're going to do a live on different platforms, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. And the last question is, why NLP and hypnosis is important in our personal and
Mm.
professional.
Yeah. It's a It's a broad question, and yet I'm looking for a specific answer to it. Um,
Dreaming of it.
right. So one way to answer this is, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, they used to talk about life skills, LIFE, right? Life skills. And a lot of the design of life skills was sort of very out there, very surface level. And I'm speaking from my own experience, right? Which means that it was difficult to replicate it. So let's say you learn some method or something, it was difficult to replicate it in actual, like real time when you're having an issue. So it sounded good on paper, like as a theory, right? Just like in organizational behavior, you learn a lot of theories and frameworks and stuff like that. But unless it is fully implemented, a lot of times it just sort of becomes very, surface level, right? Even if on your own, on your own expense, you have gone and learned somewhere, even if it's not from, with the company, unless it's something that you practice on an ongoing basis. So, for example, let's say yoga, meditation, vipassana, like these are things which you go, let's say for a 10-day, or you go for an X number of days, and then you continue after that by practicing, right? So, for example, you have the satsang, you have vipassana groups, things like, you have a yoga, could be a studio, or you could be like a yoga group. Right? These are ways in which to ensure that your practice, gets strong, so that tomorrow when something bad happens, or tomorrow when you have an opportunity to grow, doesn't always mean only has to be bad. Let's say tomorrow you get a massive opportunity, right? For a lot of us, that's the time we get shaky, because we don't want to grow into that next version of us. And so these are the times where I have seen the real power of this. What when I say this, we're talking about eye hypnosis. The real power of being ready for whatever it is that is coming your way. And I'll end this for today here, just reminding you and the viewers who are watching that in 2018, I didn't know that all those years of practice, all those years of traveling all over the place, of doing, of studying at a point where most people weren't doing that. I didn't know that all of that was going to come to my rescue at exactly the right time. And I got to know that in 2018, at the beginning of the year, when we got to know about my wife's diagnosis. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. This was at the beginning of 2018. And if not for my practice of so many years before that, I'm not sure how any of us would have survived, how any of us would have managed. And I still remember it was one of those early days when I was just sitting quietly for a moment, and I had this realization that literally my entire life was, and my entire professional life, the focus of learning these skills had been preparing me for this moment. So what I can say is, and I can only speak from my experience, that if you really want to be able to um, change the course of your life, and again, if you are at a point where life is good and you don't feel any need to learn more, and you're fine where you are, that's perfectly fine, right? But if you're at a point in your life where as you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, there is that disconnect, there is that vacuum that you're feeling in your life. This is probably life's way of telling you that, start now, right? Start and start small. It doesn't have to be something super fancy or anything. Just start small, right? Just start showing up. And I'll say this also, there are many different ways in which you can do this. Thankfully, again, the positive side of COVID is that today learning is no longer something that is the exclusive, uh, you know, availability only to those who know. Like in 2012, when I went to the US, I barely knew, um, you know, not even like three people who had gone before me, right? From India, going all the way to train with Dr. Bandler. I'd never heard of anybody else, excepting for my business partner and I. I didn't know anybody else. And for years, we never saw anybody from India in these trainings. Now, if they were there in other trainings, I don't know. But if I just, sort of like use this as an example. So all I'm saying is, um, there are many ways for you to start making that shift in your life, especially if you know deep down inside that things are not in balance, right? And that you are having uh, a lack of. Yeah. So that's all I would say for now. I don't know if that fully answers your question, but all I'll say is that there is help at hand. And if what you've heard of me talking today, even if for an instant it kind of makes you curious or it interests you, obviously we're right now on a live. We will be uploading this on YouTube. There is a link that you'll see, which will take you to the eye hypnosis community, and definitely look forward to seeing you at uh, one of our events or many of our events. And like I said, start small. It's like the eye hypnosis experience is something that if that is something that resonates with you, then the process is very simple. Like I said today, thanks to technology, uh, everything has been streamlined. It's just one click and you're in. So really looking forward to meeting you. And of course, before we wind up, Devismita, thank you for this initiative, taking this time, creating this space. I still remember in March, we had done something like this, and we had a truly fascinating and truly amazing group of people who showed up. Uh, Here we are now, like 100 days later. So, um, deep gratitude to you for all that you do and the heart that you bring to each and every activity, each and every, for you, the way I see it, for you, each of these is an endeavor. So you really, put your heart and soul into it. So I really do wish that you have many, many students who find you, people who are in the, uh, who are looking for a job, people who are in the HR space, who really want to, turn their lives around. I'm sure they will benefit from you. So thank you
Before,
for.
yeah, before we wind up, I want to say one more thing. Thanks to you. Yes, the way you talk about Minashi. Okay, Minashi was in my talk show a lot of times.
Mm,
Yeah, and Minashi has this breast cancer. Yes, we know about that because now she is already cured and she is all fine. Okay, and we bless her that she should stay long as she wants, because yeah, she is a very sweet human being with a great heart. The way I always admire you both as a Buddha. Yeah, that is I have to bring that Buddha within me because I'm a jumping jack here and there. Yeah. Now the thing is, I'm grateful always to you because you helped me during the time of my
mm,
father's cancer detection. It was a blessing to me that you come to my life on that moment when yeah, I can understand when you were talking about but acceptance is important from my end
yeah.
also. Yeah, so yeah, one bed will be maybe empty for long. Yeah,
Mm,
it's painful to
yeah.
act. Yeah, but yeah, because now again he is detected with cancer, but
Mm,
2 years he was not detected because he
mm,
that doesn't the lifestyle he doesn't follow because he eats sweets and we can't stop him because
mm.
he's not a kid. He
Right.
had to
Yep.
understand. But anyways, life is something to learn about. The legacy is legacy. We are putting some legacies
Yep.
over there. Yes, and I'm always grateful to you. The time you came and you helped me, and I just shared the same thing to my mother, and she also did with the Buddhism practice, and
Mm.
right now also she is doing every night, but still we have a fighting. I can't visualize, I can't. So this, yeah, maybe on 13th of August, this book is going to release, how my hypnosis journey was with you.
Mm.
Okay, that is 13th of August is your birthday. So from the beginning, I'm just telling something special. I'm going to give you, that is from my heart to your heart, because that is my gratitude. Yeah, this, I generally, we all love you because the work you are doing is so big and eye opener for many people. And like me, who doesn't know myself, yeah, can get to know more about me. Self discoveries can happen, and lots of things.
Mm.
Yeah. So come and join. And your details are also there in the description box.
Yeah.
I've already
Mm.
shared the link tree details. They can click and they can also join. That is not an issue. And yeah, and it is going to be live in YouTube. Uh, yes, and many more to
Yeah.
come. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This
So just one last thing here. The link to join the community is what you'll see on YouTube. Here, of course, you'll get a link if you want to see, let's say if you want to, follow me on any of the socials. That's the link that you'll find here. As of course, you'll also, be able to see the website, rahulgeorge.com. But in terms of the hypnosis community, that link you will be able to access from the YouTube, from the YouTube channel. Right. So
yes.
thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you very much.
Uh, yes, thank you to you, and thanks, because of you I am here, and because of you I'm talking too openly about me,
Mm,
what I am, and accepting me myself in that
mm.
way. And
Yeah,
many more stories are there that the
yeah,
book,
yeah.
this let
Uh,
them wait for 13th of
For
August.
for the moment, as I like to always wrap up, if I
Yeah,
may,
yeah, yeah, sure.
for those of you who are watching, remember to live with purpose. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. God bless and